Welcome to the Bookers Alliance podcast, where we hold the pencil and the pencil is power. Coming at you right now is your host, Marky Mark, along with the man, the myth, the legend, Frank Donaldson. Join us as we discuss the ever-changing landscape of professional wrestling. So hang on tight, you jabronis, and enjoy the ride. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for joining today's episode of the Bookers Alliance podcast. Come on inside the house, bring yourself up a ringside seat, get your soda, your popcorn, your whiskey, get everything you need, your champagne, your New Year's glasses, your confetti, everything you got going, because today we're looking forward into 2026 and the road ahead.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
We're just breaking it in here. We're wishing everybody a Happy New Year and getting all the excitement ready because, you know, with the start of the new year, we start the new chapter of WWE. So here we go.
Yeah, new chapter all around. New year, new chapter.
Who else had a new chapter today?
I don't know. Who did have a new chapter?
It sounds like I think this is episode 1 of season 4 of the Bookers Alliance podcast. Thank y'all for this ride here. We're 4 seasons deep.
Absolutely. Thank y'all for listening and tuning in every week. We appreciate all that y'all do, especially our sponsor.
We got to talk about this week's sponsor. We had to step it up a little bit for the new year. I mean, considering we were already a little bit toasty from last night, you figure you just carry it on into the new year.
Got military in the house, it appears. Colonel E.H. Taylor.
Okay. Tell me about him.
Colonel from the Buffalo Trace.
There you go. It's a small batch, though. So so we only got a little bit.
Just a little bit. But Colonel E.H. Taylor's the sponsor for this episode. So cheers, sir, to a new episode and a new season.
All right.
Oh, good bourbon.
Yeah, that is nice.
Good bourbon.
That's very nice. That's the first hit I had of that. So yeah, very nice. Like it.
A lot of caramel flavor.
Yeah, it goes down smooth. Doesn't have that late burn in there. It's got just enough thick to make it coating, but not enough to make it cough syrup.
That's what she said.
All right.
All right, let's get into this episode 2026, the road ahead. Notice how I'm phrasing that, sir.
Okay.
The road ahead.
Mm-hmm. That's also what she said.
Have to start it out right, y'all. Got to start it out right. All right, so we're going to look forward. Our first place we're looking for on the road ahead, we got to look forward to the January 5th episode of Monday Night Raw.
You're not excited about SmackDown tonight?
Who?
No clue. Nothing. I got nothing. I have no idea what's happening tonight. It's probably a pre-tape, so we probably could know exactly what's going to happen. But I don't bother into pre-tapes. So
I can tell you who won't be there.
Who's that?
Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah. No. Apparently we lost Dom for a little bit. You know what? Rumor has it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Since Liv came back, apparently there was trouble in the Mysterio household, and that's why Dom's injured. I heard he had a groin pull.
Oh.
Yep. And I ain't mad at the wife. It's about time she stood up for herself and said, you know what?
That foot down.
Yeah, she's like, you know what? That's enough of this nonsense. You're off the road.
Yeah, you're off the road for a while.
Yeah, you're off the road. You're going to spend these holidays here with this family. I ain't going to see you all over that little blonde girl all these holidays. You're going to stay your ass
Come home, be Daddy Dom.
Exactly. Yeah, you at home this year.
All right. So, yeah, won't be seeing Daddy Dom. He's on the shelf. Along with Seth Rollins, also on the shelf.
All your champions. They get the title. Don't last much longer after that.
Sad.
CM Punk's a glass house, so I mean we're on borrowed time with anything we get out of that guy.
So as Trick Williams says, let's talk about.
All right, let's talk about hottest free agent on the market going into 2026 is Trick Williams. Although on every SmackDown and Raw, I'm seeing these promos for Obafemi, and I'm like, ain't he the NXT champ? Like, why are we promoting him here? But I digress. Sometimes you make some moves and you have to figure stuff out.
I think they just getting ready just to call a whole class up.
It's past time. Let's call a spade. There's 10 men and women down there that are more than ready for main roster.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. It's time. It's go time.
Yep.
You got to get him up there. You got to get him, throw him in the water. Let's see who sinks, see who swims.
Well, let's talk about who's swimming with the big fishes right now and doing a mighty fine job, and that's Bron Breakker.
And he's swimming with the big dogs.
Let's
Big dog.
Let's talk about what's going on with Bron. First thing that I have noticed with Bron Breakker is who I thought he was is turning out to be exactly what I thought he was.
Yeah.
He is a Steiner through and through.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, he had sprinklings of it in NXT. You can see that Scott Steiner coming out of him. You can see Uncle Scott, that influence that he had from like, hey, I need to lean into this because, I mean, now Rick's his dad, but let's be honest. Who was the more successful Steiner, right?
Scott.
Yeah, so on a main stage. Now, Rick had a longer career. Rick probably... he was more grounded in the business. Scott came in, he was kind of a firecracker when he came in. And boy, did that only get bigger and bigger. I mean, he made his personality go from 0 to 100 real quick.
Bigger and bigger was the key word.
Bigger and bigger, definitely. Now, Bron ain't going to be that big, though.
I'm pretty sure he had help getting that big.
Bron ain't going to be Big Papa Pump. So
No.
we ain't going that. But he knows the attitude. He knows the character and the persona. He's taken bits and pieces from both his dad and his uncle, and he can parlay that into a long wrestling career at 20-some years old.
He's definitely got the gift of gab that his uncle had. What I'm loving about Bron Breakker, it's not so much that you see Paul Heyman kind of shepherding him.
Yeah.
That may be happening, and it's on the back end, and intentionally we're not seeing it on TV. But I think that's the coolest part, because what's happening with him on the surface, what the fan sees on TV, it looks like it's just natural.
Yeah, I don't think this is a Paul Heyman thing.
No.
Paul might give him direction, like, hey, here's where you need to go. Here's what you want to get to. But hell, they all do that. Everybody's got an agent, right? So every segment has an agent. Interviews too, which means before the group goes out there, they tell them, hey, here's where we need to go. They probably get that to Paul a little bit earlier and tell Paul to relay it to Bron. But Bron's putting it in the words that Scott would have put it in back in the days. He's living into the character that he basically grew up on. He knows what works and what doesn't work. He's seen it firsthand. He's seen it in a view that none of us ever have. Nobody listening, none of that, except the WWE backstage brass who we know are listening.
Of course.
But the rest of us, us lay people, we've never seen it up front, up close and personal like Bron Breakker. He knows how to get a crowd going. He knows when to turn the energy on. And he knows when to say some controversial stuff. I mean, that's what Scott's MO. Scott knew how to say some controversial stuff, piss a bunch of people off, get a lot of people talking, and all of a sudden find himself in the main event.
Yep. Bron, I mean, he's already done the whole piss off part, especially with Punk telling he was going to, put him out and then take AJ for himself. I mean, it's
because he said all the freaks out there, Big Papa Pump is your hookup. Holla if you hear me. Bron learned, this is ingrained in his soul. He was sick saying these words, copying his uncle. Playing this angle now, he's got to tone it down a little bit from the Attitude Era days, or the end of WCW days when Scott could be as raunchy with it. He's bringing it down to a 2025 acceptable level, but it's the same thing.
So, I mean, when you've got the promos that he's cut in the past and then the promo that he cut Monday night, first off, I'm like, okay, if he's going to swim in the big ocean now with all the big dogs running around, can he hang with them on the mic? He can cut a promo, but can he hang in the back and forth?
That's a big difference, especially with a guy like Punk, right?
Right.
It didn't like they're starting him slow.
But damn, if he didn't hang with him on the mic Monday night, I mean, he basically told him, look, you think I'm some indie little pup running around, but while you were out here running the streets with the WWE, I was sharing the field with Lamar Jackson.
Exactly, yeah. He comes from pedigree, right?
Yeah.
And again, when Punk was, a snot-nosed 19-year-old wrestling in some, local gym down he was watching his uncle and his dad do it at the best level, do it at the top level. He's nepotism at its best. And we know CM Punk hates the Nepo babies.
Right.
But CM Punk's staring down the giant of all Nepo babies right now because he's got a young, energetic, fired up, explosive kid out here who could literally rip him apart if he was, if it was a fight. That stuff CM Punk learned in UFC wouldn't help right now, right? Because we know Bron Breakker, his strength and that intensity, that it would go south real fast.
Yep. So let's talk about the match that's coming up for January 5th. This is to be the anniversary of the first Raw on Netflix, the first anniversary of it.
Almost day one.
So when you look at it, and this is for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Well, one big marquee.
So who comes out on top? Who's going to walk away with the belt? Who do we see taking this thing?
So who do we want to see, or who do we see?
I think it's one and the same for me.
So unfortunately, it's completely different for me because I would love to see Braun win it and just turn this whole thing upside down, right? I would love to see him be the champ. I'd love to see him be the champ going straight into Mania. I'd love to see him main event of Mania with the World Heavyweight Championship against whoever they pit him against and see where the cards fall, right? As much as I've been watching Triple H booking for the last couple years, no chance in hell I see that happening. I feel like there's a pivoted plan that they made when Seth went down and they put the title on Punk. And I feel like they're going to carry that plan all the way throughout to Mania come hell or high water.
So I think completely different. I think that I want Braun Breaker to come out as champ.
So we agree halfway.
I think he's going to come out as champ.
We disagree halfway.
I think it's going to happen by a dirty play with all the vision that he surrounded himself by. I think they're going to come into the mix. I think they're going to cost Punk the championship. And I think the story of Seth and Punk is a bygone memory at this point because that happened last year at the first episode of Monday Night Raw on Netflix. Yeah. And I think you're going to get a Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker for the heavyweight championship at WrestleMania.
That would be quite interesting. I'm not even 100% sure we know that Seth will be back at Mania. So
I don't. This is one of those things where we're looking at the road ahead.
Yeah.
So I can forecast what I want to forecast. It doesn't mean it's going to happen, but at the same time, I do like if the element of, hey, the last time they dumped Seth on his head and they walked around with that belt on the shoulder. Who had the belt on the shoulder? It was Braun Breaker. Had the belt on the shoulder, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody loved it. The
visual was there.
It was more than the IWC. It was everybody.
Fans in the arena.
Everybody looked at it.
Supporting it too.
Yep, everybody looked at it. And I really believe that they may try to ride that gun and say, hey, let's put it on him for January. And then if Seth's available come WrestleMania, we'll let him go for it then. Don't know who the winner's going to be. We'll let him go for it. And if Seth ain't ready, put Punk in that spot and let Punk, try to get avenged for his loss of his belt on that January 5th Raw. So I kind of want to see it happen. I want to see it changing of the card, even though I like Punk, and Punk fought forever since coming back to get that belt.
Yep.
I wouldn't mind him dropping it.
So I see where you're going. I saw it. I even saw your match layout up until the winner part, right? Because I definitely see the Vision getting involved in the match 100%, right? There's no way it's going to be one-on-one, no shenanigans. No way, right? I think the shenanigans are what get Braun disqualified and keep CM Punk with the title. I feel like because they don't want to bury Braun. They're not going to let CM Punk, GTS him and put him to sleep, right?
Right.
That ain't happening. If it does, then we made a complete misstep and everything goes to hell and I have no idea what I'm talking about in the world of wrestling no more. Maybe we never have a episode number 2 of season 4 if they do that. Because I'd be like, wait, what? He pinned him clean? We just killed him. They're not going to do that, but I don't think they're going to put the title on him yet. And again, it leans back into that Triple H style of booking where I feel like it's going to be interference. It's going to be shenanigans. There's going to be outside mess. And I feel like it's just going to end in a DQ because it's the safest way to get everybody out without taking a hit to their character and where they're at.
All right, let's spin it one more direction. I just had a thought about something. Let's spin it one more wild direction. Okay. So let's say they get us all and they start with the Vision interference and we think that, Punk's down and out and Braun's going to get the victory. And then out of nowhere, in the middle of all the chaos, right? All of a sudden you have Seth Rollins' music hits. He's not cleared to compete, but let's say he can't come down and cause the interference.
Okay.
And instead of the Vision causing the interference to get Braun Breaker the win, what if Seth causes the interference to get Punk the win?
So I could see that, but at the heart of Seth's character, as long as Punk's been around, the heart of his character was I won't let CM Punk be the champion.
So he hates Punk more than Braun. Is that
yeah?
What
even at the end of the day, even though Braun and the Vision turned on him, I don't see him supporting CM Punk in any way. I don't see those two ever aligning. I don't see a point down the road where those two team up against the Vision, which maybe that is on the docket. Maybe that does happen. I don't see it though. I feel like at that point you're discrediting Seth's character that he left behind, even though you move on and all that. The hate that those two guys had, if you remember, it never was like the level of dislike that, like, say, Roman and Cody have for each other, right?
Right.
Roman and Cody have coexisted. They've done interviews. They did the meeting on the football field type thing. They don't hate each other. They're
at a spot where it's like we don't like each other, but we respect each other.
Roman said it perfectly. You're in my way.
Yeah,
they're in each other's way.
Right.
When Cody came back, he was ready to be the guy, and there was Roman Reigns, and Roman wasn't ready to not be the guy.
Right.
So Cody had to wait a year. Then the flip, you go a year later, then it was flip-flopped. But they never disliked it. If you think about it, there was never like a blood feud between Cody and Roman.
True.
They don't even barely touch short at WrestleMania. They even tag together coming out of WrestleMania. So they don't have that distaste for each other. They don't just hate each other to no level. Punk and Seth do. They have that. So you don't dismay what you've done with Seth's character up to this point and say, oh, well, the enemy of the enemy is my friend, blah, blah. That doesn't work in this, right?
So they're mortal enemies.
Yeah, so Seth and CM Punk, they have to always be at odds, even if there is a third party like the Vision. Well, now it's just a three-person at odds, but they're never on the same side to combat a common foe. Not those two characters. Other characters, yes, not those two characters. At that point, you're taken away from what both characters basically, dig their heels in on. Both of them dig their heels and they hate each other, period. If you go away from that, now you're not true to their character. And then at that point, it's like you're making it up as you go, and I don't want to see that.
Gotcha. So
that was an emblazoned argument there. I didn't even know I had that much passion about those two characters and their dislike for each other. But damn,
it's there.
I feel it. Yeah,
it's there.
No, and it should be because they do hate each other that much.
Do.
So I should feel that emotion in myself when I watch those two because they've never said anything less than we hate each other.
Yep. So as far as what's happening towards January 5th Raw, that's something to definitely look forward to. And of course, after that, we build to the 2026 Royal Rumble.
You mean the Riyadh Rumble?
The Riyadh Rumble. All right.
Yeah.
So
that's at like what, 4 a.m. or some nonsense
this
like that?
This is going to be weird because of the location that it's at and because of the time that it'll be shown over here at. But look, I'm up for a pancake PLE. I'm good. Actually, it'll be at 1 in the afternoon.
I mean that. Oh, is it 1 p.m.?
Well, anytime any other events happen from over there, it's usually 1 p.m. here.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not so bad. They've had so many. I remember Australia was like 4 a.m. or something like that.
It's 5 a.m. when they're from Australia, and it's like 2 p.m. when they're from France. It
gets all funky and it's hard to keep track of, but we have done Riyadh before. So, 1 in the afternoon, that's actually not so bad. That could actually turn into a like pizza and wings type thing. I could see something like, because I ain't going to Riyadh for that. I'm not.
Hey, send me WWE, I'll go.
I mean, that's your representative that'll go, and I'll we'll radio the show in or something like that. I ain't going to Riyadh over.
All right, so let's talk about the Rumble itself. How are they going to do surprises? Are we going to get the surprises? Or, like we've talked about before, are the surprises going to come before that via the January 5th Raw, the January 26th Saturday night's main event?
I think some do. I think some don't, right?
Okay.
Like there's 2 big names being rumored right now for huge surprises at the Rumble. One from the men's, one from the women's.
Tell me who you got, because I don't know.
Both of them I'm excited for. So for the men's Royal Rumble, the big rumor going around is Chris Jericho. Fully excited by the entrance. I hope they lean into the whole Judas thing. I hope they get away from whatever in the hell Chris Jericho morphed into towards the end of his time in AEW. Lean into how he started, because the whole Judas thing was hot. I say go into that, do that. Don't do break the walls down. Don't do none of that. Let Chris be Chris, because supposedly it's going to be his last run. Let him do that, but that's great. Big name rumor there. Big name rumor on the women's side. Paige. Would love to see Paige come back in the Royal Rumble. That would be fabulous. But both of those two, I think you do those over there. I don't think you ruin that surprise here in the States. I think it's easier to get away with in Riyadh because here you got people parked at the airports 24/7. They're looking. They're always where they need to be to see what's going to happen. Can't do that in Riyadh, right? I mean, one, I don't even think Riyadh lets you camp in the airport, right? I feel like they would, arrest you for espionage if you live in the airport, which means your ass is going to get in the airport, you're going to land, you're going to get the hell out, which means they could get a private flight to go in with those two characters on there with any other, people that they need. They can do a surprise like that better overseas than they can here. So I think for those two, you stay. The other people that, WWE's talking about, I'm sure you got some speculation on that. I think they do those here in the States because they're active TV characters that are kind of returning.
So word on the street is Netflix is actually lobbying for the Jericho to happen on January 5th. They want that.
I hate Netflix. Hell, I just laid out the perfect surprise. You don't want to hear. They should break the walls down and make a midget or a small person come out there and do that on January 5th just to appease Netflix and then tell Netflix to go get bit. I want to see it on a paper, on a PLE.
The rumor is that it's supposed to happen on January 5th. And I think it would actually be really cool because if they do the scenario, and Hunter, feel free to use this if you want to, because I think it would be a cool scenario. Hunter supposedly is supposed to, kick off the January 5th, the first anniversary of Netflix on Raw again.
Okay.
And who better to interrupt Hunter than Chris Jericho?
I could see that. If we're going to do that, though, let's be honest, what I would much rather prefer to see, I'd rather prefer to see him come out at SmackDown on January 2nd. They could do the whole countdown thing again. He could just do the whole arms thing. I mean, do it just like when he debuted, because it was the whole Y2J countdown. Do it like that and celebrate the new year if you're going to do it on TV anyway. But I definitely see why Netflix would want it because, I mean, again, ratings, and Netflix is paying more than USA is paying for SmackDown. So if you're going to do it, you're going to give it to your highest bidder. So if they want it, I guess I wouldn't be completely against it at Raw on Netflix, but I'd much rather. Surprises at the Rumble have become epic, and I love those.
So let me put this to you. So what if it is him that interrupts Hunter at the beginning of the show, but it's not just Hunter in the ring; it's Hunter and Stephanie in the ring.
That would definitely be epic. I mean, that actually makes it more fun.
Yep.
So in that instance, if they're going to give them like say 15 minutes, 10 minutes, and let them promo against each other, the three of them, then okay, now I'm signed up for it. Right? Yeah. Because just doing the music at the Rumble and having them run out, that's going to give you one pop, but then that's all you're going to get, and then his old ass is getting eliminated. But when you get them to talk, I mean, if you're going to do it where all three of them can have a conversation and bag on each other, and, you've been down with in the little leagues and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I can see a lot of good content coming out of that. I'm there for that. So you kind of sold me on that. You flip-flopped me on that. I can see that.
I do believe your Rumble surprises are going to be your major call-ups that they're hinting at right now. I think you're going to get Trick in the Rumble. I think you're going to get Oba in the Rumble. Javon is going to be in the Rumble.
So if Oba's in the Rumble, he wins, right?
I would not be mad at that at all.
Now, wait. Now, again,
Oba versus Cody at Mania. Hell yes.
Before we wander off too far, who's booking the Rumble?
We are right now.
No. I mean, in WWE, who books the Rumble?
Probably Hunter.
Yeah, Triple K's booking it.
Triple
K. Oba ain't winning, but he'll get in it. But I was gonna say,
he ain't winning.
Yeah, no, Triple H is booking it. He ain't winning, but he can get in it. I mean, that's always fun. But he ain't winning.
So
I appreciate that you jumped right on board with it because you were looking from it from like a obvious lens, like, hey, this could be great. But then you got to remember, there's a little cloud over that booking table over there. So no.
On the women's side, who would I like to see probably get into it? Kendall Gray. She's my number one right now.
Call her all the way up.
Just let her get in a Rumble.
I ain't mad at that.
And let her get some surprises in there. I would not mind though them putting some more TNA in there. Maybe a TNA callback, if you will. Maybe Velvet Sky.
That would be nice.
That would be kind of cool.
That would be nice. Yeah, if you get alumni TNA in there, that could be interesting because I mean that's platform that she's never been on. She's never performed at that level. I mean, hey, it's the Rumble. Try it out.
Try it out.
Happens,
I mean,
if she gets nothing, if she runs out there, she gets the absolute, she gets the Last Legend Survivor Series, call, and you're like, okay, send her back home. We failed.
I mean, Jordan Grace kind of broke the mold when it comes to who can show up
she got a pop.
Yeah.
They knew who she was. They knew what was going on. So
I'm kind of cool if they want to throw it that way. As far as legends, like I don't know of any ladies that I would want to see kind of pop up as far as legends wise.
I know one.
Okay, which one?
So if they do anything, I want them to bring Victoria back because it's past time they put Victoria in the Hall of Fame.
True. Okay, I'll agree with that.
For the women that wrestled in the Attitude Era, I mean, Victoria was one of the more successful ones. And her not being in the Hall of Fame as far as women go is kind of a travesty. So I say bring her back in the Rumble, let her do whatever she wants to do in the Mania, but I don't see putting Stephanie in the Hall of Fame without putting like Victoria and some of the other women that participated in that time frame in with her.
Big matches when it comes to
Rumble. I'm not done with returns yet.
Oh, okay.
We didn't talk about any just returns, right?
Okay.
Like,
who we got?
I mean, if there's a bigger name out there, tell me. But if Bianca Belair doesn't return at the Rumble, she's never coming back, right?
I don't. Her injury is perplexing.
It is 8 months. She's been out 8 months with a finger injury.
But it's more than a finger injury. The last that I heard her describe it, it's more like her knuckle got exploded.
Ooh.
And it's almost like they wanted it to heal naturally, but at the same time they were thinking about doing reconstructive surgery, which would have already put her out as long as she's been out.
Right.
So if it's not going to heal and they're not going to clear her, if they got to do surgery, she's going to be out even longer.
Yeah, if she's been out 8 months already and now they're still talking about how to get it to heal, then we're talking. At this point now, she can go ahead and get pregnant if she's interested in that. So she's going to be out for a long time if she's still looking at that.
So I guess let me say this without being like sexist. I don't know of another way.
I just said she can get pregnant while she's injured. We ain't getting no worse than that. So go for it.
So I mean, back in the day, Dusty Rhodes, Dick Murdoch, whatever, they put a cast on that and just kept going.
Yeah.
I mean, is it serious enough to where we can't do that? Like,
it depends. I mean, so if she's been out 8 months and they still don't know how to fix her, it's probably too serious to get back in the ring, right? Because, I mean, you've had a year to work on it. You've got nowhere. Then, that means, like you say, the word you used immediately was correct, perplexing.
Yeah.
If the doctors and the medical staff are perplexed, you probably shouldn't be wrestling. I feel like that's something they should have known, because I remember when it happened, when she got her hand tied in the rope and she pulled her hand back and stuff. If they didn't know 15, 20 minutes after that match was over, like, okay, this is what we're dealing with, this is the avenue to repair it, then she probably needs to be out as long as she needs to be out, right?
It makes you wonder if she's got an injury kind of like Buddy Murphy's got to his ankle, where like it's injured to the point where it's nerve damage.
Yeah, it just can't be repaired.
It can't be repaired, and like she don't have no feeling in it. Like,
it could be that. I mean, it could be to the point where you have to adjust. I mean, hell, Kerry Von Erich wrestled without a foot.
Yeah,
so you could wander into that territory of like you said, you ain't gonna use that finger no more. It just ain't gonna happen. I hope not. God knows I hope not. But hey, you never know. With injuries like that, I mean, any sport you play, you can get a debilitating injury that you just never recover from.
Right.
But I do think they're being safe by trying to do everything they can to make her recover. And I'm hoping that we're just speculating on it, that she's really coming back at the Rumble and that she's going to shake some shit up at the Rumble and go on to Mania to wrestle Jade Cargill.
That'd be cool.
That's what I want to see. I feel like when Jade won the title, that was the game plan, because I don't see anybody else on SmackDown that's going to be a credible threat to what Jade's doing, not named Charlotte Flair, right?
I think that's a cool way to disguise it too, because I mean, if Montez Ford's going to be in the men's Rumble and he travels and she's traveling with him, like, she's just traveling with her husband,
right? Yeah, right. You could cover it up, but then if she, if she doesn't have her hair in the braid, she doesn't look the part or anything like that. Yeah, then if somebody notices her over there, they're going to notice, they're also going to see damn Keith Lee over there. So it's like, all the hurt people are just wandering. They're just taking a free plane ride.
Right.
But unfortunately, Keith Lee ain't getting in nobody's ring, but Bianca Belair is ready to go. So, I mean, praying for that. I'm hoping that she gets in the Rumble. I'm hoping she finds a way to win. I'm hoping she comes back and challenges her friend Jade Cargill at WrestleMania. I feel like that's magic. That's a magical story that's been written since the day Jade Cargill came into the WWE. I feel like they started it the very day she debuted, and it's worked its way up to that. And I think now, if possible, we should get that payoff.
Projected winners. So you're projecting for the women, Bianca Belair.
If she's in it, yeah.
If she's in it.
If not, then they'll go with the stock answer like Charlotte Flair or Becky Lynch or whoever. Right? They'll go with whoever they always go with, because why not break out somebody new?
You get a return in Tiffany, maybe
that wouldn't be. Now you're not gonna get complaints out of me. you damn sure ain't gonna get. Although I'm still curious on whose biceps she was posing on this past Christmas holiday.
That's an NXT superstar.
Yeah,
he's Egyptian, I think.
Okay, he's fired. Mm-hmm. Yeah, get him out of here.
Fired.
Yeah, you're fired.
All right,
plans for that girl. Sorry. I digress.
Men's projection for the winner for their Rumble. Who we got?
Men's projection for the winner. So we don't want to talk about any return. You don't have any. There's nobody you're expecting to see.
I think that's going to be a bunch of call-ups.
So I do too. I agree on that. I don't really. I mean, there's a lot of returning superstars. There's a lot of injuries that have been floating around. But I mean, that's hell in a handbasket trying to pick who may be ready for the Rumble or who may be not. So I'll go along with you on that. Projected winner I see is Roman Reigns.
I agree.
We haven't had Roman win a Rumble in 12 years and whatnot. So I feel like this is that point where they've tried it for 2 years at this point. It'll be 2 years from when Mania comes around. We tried the let's work around Roman thing. Let's, not focus on Roman. Let's bring up other stars. We tried it. It wasn't the best, right?
Yep.
Like, we haven't had the excitement around. I mean, we've done a season and a half with no Roman as champion, and it's been a harder season and a half than the first 2.5 seasons.
Yep.
But we're still here. We're still holding on. We're still producing content. WWE is too, but I feel like WWE understands what we understand is that it'll be a hell of a lot easier with Roman at top to come up with the content that we need to come up with.
We're kind of going into the next segment looking at WrestleMania projections and what may happen there. So if Roman is going over in the Rumble, who's he going to pick to fight? Is he going after the WWE Championship or the World Championship?
I think that depends on who's the champion on Raw by the time they get to that point. Because we said before, and I think we know, I mean, you alluded to it before with the whole Jericho thing. Netflix is the big spender as far as TV goes, right? So Netflix is going to want the biggest superstar on their channel. I mean, they already manipulated Roman over there anyway,
right?
Without the title. I feel like at this point, he has to go after that title. Now, originally, I would have said that it would have been Seth as the world champion, and Roman would have picked Seth to go after because he's already been down the whole Cody thing and all. And then there's no better way to elevate the world heavyweight title than to do that. But now I don't know so much. At this point now, if it's CM Punk or Braun Breaker, is there enough story to manufacture between CM Punk and Roman Reigns to get a main event spot at WrestleMania?
Not without Paul in the middle.
Not without Paul in the middle. And Paul's not affiliated with either guy right now. So, I mean, you really have to manufacture a story that isn't already there. I mean, the whole Survivor Series, the last 2 years thing, they've planted seeds, but those seeds haven't sprouted yet.
I know you're not.
You got to get those seeds moving before you can pay off on them.
I know you're not a fan, but I think if Roman is going over in the Rumble, he's going to chase Cody again. We're going to get
that's why I think it's going to go, because it's WrestleMania. You got to make a marquee match. It's got to be something that's huge. You're looking for that big, and I don't see anybody for Cody to wrestle that's going to be bigger than
Roman Reigns.
The only thing I could see is if The Rock came back, and I mean this is the time of year where we always wander into our Rock talk. So I'm going to go ahead and get it out of the way right now. The only way I see Roman Reigns going after the Raw title and CM Punk or Braun Breaker is if somehow or another they had The Rock coming back to wrestle Cody Rhodes and pay off on the whole "I stole your soul" storyline.
Right.
If they could manufacture that on SmackDown, then they could manufacture Roman on Raw. Yeah, everybody's happy at that point. Right now, you got your 2 nights of WrestleMania. They're both probably the biggest matches that we could think of in this day and age. We've got nonsense to talk about for the next 8 to 10 weeks after, exponentially, right? We won't have no problem coming up with content on shows if they do that. But the last time we saw The Rock, he was the pebble, right? So we weren't geared up to do a WrestleMania run with The Rock looking how we saw him. So I don't think that's going to happen. So I think you got to put Roman in the highest profile match possible, and that's Cody Roman 3.
Yeah.
I don't love it, but again, You're selling WrestleMania. You want it to be the biggest Mania. Everyone has to be bigger than the last. And the only way you're going to get bigger than the last is to go Roman at the very top with your top guy. And that's currently Cody Rhodes.
I feel like if they do a Roman Cody 3, you're going to get Roman going over and you'll get Cody disappearing for a while.
Yeah, absolutely. Same as what Roman did in 40. I feel like you're not going to put Roman in the match to lose. I mean, hell, at that point, you might as well send Roman to damn AEW at that point because I mean that's ridiculous. So you're not gonna put him in to lose.
Yeah, and I mean, as the quotes go, I mean John didn't get to 17 by holding it all the time.
Exactly. No,
I mean, you got to lose it at some point in time.
Right. And Cody is known to lose at Mania. I mean, that's kind of his target spot. Win it wherever, you're going to lose it at Mania in a big spot. Next year, we'll be talking about Cody Rhodes heading into the Rumble next year.
I will say, though, I'm tired of face versus face going off against each other. I'm tired of that.
Is Roman a face?
So that's the thing. That's the thing. The new fans look at Roman as a face.
Okay.
Me and you both know that's still the tribal chief.
Yeah. So
that's still the mob boss walking through the halls of those arenas.
So then let me ask you a question. If the fans now view Roman as the babyface and then Cody gets pitted against him, do the fans make Cody the heel?
I want Cody to be Homelander.
We both want Cody to be the heel.
I've been pulling for that forever.
Right, but we know as long same thing with Cena. As long as the merch sales are where they're at, they're not going to sacrifice the merch sales because Roman sells merch as a heel.
Right.
So the money's there. That's proven money. We don't know what Cody would sell as a heel, right? If Cody don't sell another T-shirt, they take a hell of a big hit on merch. Ain't going to give that up.
I will say,
but if
though,
the fans make them give it up, they're not, if the fans say, we're not going to buy Cody's stuff, we're going to boo him, then at that point, you got to listen to your fans and lean into it.
I will say this, though. They finally won the lawsuit. They either caved or it got dropped about the whole American Nightmare thing. The band that was kind of suing Cody and the WWE for that name. So they've won that. So they now
we knew that was going to happen, right? WWE's legal really don't lose on stuff, on intellectual property.
No.
Right?
So
they kind of got a handle on that.
So with him, the American Nightmare, I mean, we're right now we're in the red, white, and blue Say Your Prayers, Eat Your Vitamins version of Cody Rhodes.
Yeah,
we're in the red and yellow version of Cody Rhodes.
Even that version of Hulk ran its course.
Correct. So if we get to the fact that Cody finally turns heel, right, and we get the Homelander aspect, right, what's to say he doesn't go black and white like NWO? Like what if he goes black and white, leans into the American Nightmare aspect of it? The blonde hair goes black, like the natural color, and then he's ran in the circles with the Bullet Club before, so it's not like he doesn't know how to be a heel.
Yeah, no, he was in WWE. His whole first run in WWE, he was a heel. He wasn't a successful heel, but he was a heel nonetheless. He knows how to do it. There's no question about that. Is he more marketable that way? And right now, WWE is worried about what's marketable.
Right.
But if you got to understand, and if you're WWE, you got to pay attention to, if you're going to lean back into Roman being the heel, he's got to have a counterpart.
He's got to have a counterpart. He's got to have somebody to dance with. And if you lean into Roman to be your merch guy, to sell those tickets and to sell those T-shirts and everything
which he can do,
let Cody experiment. Let's see what can happen.
Because you got the big dogs back on top, right?
Right.
Roman's a proven commodity. There's no world where Roman ain't going to push tickets. There's no world where Roman ain't going to push PLEs, whatever in hell, right? He's sold. I mean, they've had more damn tribal chief shirts and God mode and everything else you could dream of, and all that nonsense sold, right?
Yep.
That God mode was that was a Young Bucks thing where they were trying to crack on Roman.
Yep.
Somehow another WWE marketed that and sold a ton of shirts that nobody in the Young Bucks territory are selling.
Yep.
So it's proven that Roman can sell either way. He can do whatever you need him to do. He's that utility guy he can run whichever side on top and draw, period. Nothing else needs to be said. Cody, on the other hand, has also done the same thing, but only as a face. He hasn't proven anything as a heel. We don't know what Cody could be the best heel we've ever had since Hogan, or he could be a complete flop. We'll never know unless you try it. The point of it is, though, is if Roman's your constant, and he's your constant right now in WWE. Cody is what he is, but Roman's been your constant for the last 5 years, going into 6. That's undeniable. If he's your constant, that means everybody else is a utility player. Everybody else, those pieces can be moved on the chessboard different as long as your king is protected.
Right.
If Roman's protected, you move wherever if Cody needs to move to the other side for I mean, they did it with Cena. It didn't work, but they did it with Cena. They tried it, right? Because Cena was willing to try it. I guarantee Cody would be willing to try it.
But you know what though? Because they tried it, they gained a new Cena fan. Because they tried it. I became a Cena fan because they tried it.
I mean, we were invested in that. When he turned heel, we had a lot of episodes right around April, May, June where we were excited about the heel turn. Kind of around June, we saw it was faltering, and we're like, okay, but
abandoned ship.
The problem with that is Cena, as you know, we knew he was leaving. Yeah. It wasn't a secret that he was retiring. We knew they didn't want to retire him as a heel, so we knew they were kind of painting themselves into a corner that they were going to have to weasel their way out of at some point anyway, right? So we saw the writing on the wall. Cody's got 5 years. He could do heel for 3 of those years. Yeah. I mean, he could be an effective NWO style heel, just like Hulk was. You know, Hulk was only NWO for 4 years. I mean, you know, it isn't like he was a heel for 30 years. He was a heel for 4. Cody could do 4 years heel, do 1 year as a face, and go out on the same ride that Hogan went out on. It's out there to be done, and WWE's looking that long term, and they're looking that far out enough to plan that kind of stuff that they can make it happen.
The blueprint has been laid with the story arc for Cody. It's been laid. It's Hogan done it, Cena done it.
Yeah, and all the seeds have been planted for Cody to become a heel. He's done heel stuff over the last 4 years, all along the way.
The heel turn would be epic, but the redemption arc, would be amazing.
Absolutely. Could you? I mean. So you said it a minute ago with the whole American Nightmare thing, right? His dad was the American Dream, quintessential good guy, because a dream is great.
Right.
Eventually, a nightmare is bad. I mean, every nightmare goes bad at some point. Lean into it.
Lean into it.
That's not that hard to figure out, right?
The way that I want to see this go, honestly, as we bring the episode to a close, the way that I want to see this go, Cody flips into full Homelander mode.
Yeah.
I don't care if you make the red, white, and blue. I don't care if you darken it up and make it a mysterious red, white, and blue. I don't care if you change it to black and white.
Yeah.
Let him go full American Nightmare mode. Yeah. And when he does, have him go the way that he went when he left the company. Mimic this storyline. Instead of writing 10 names on a napkin of who he wants to hit the indie circuit and wrestle, give him a cause to go bad. Give him a cause to be a heel, and give him 10 people on a hit list.
Yeah, work his way back up to Roman type deal.
Exactly.
Yeah, tell him, I'm taking this guy out because X, Y, Z. Hell, he could start with AJ Styles. AJ's last year is next year. When he won the WWE title, the first opponent they gave him was AJ. When he loses the WWE title, if the first opponent they give him is AJ and he fools around, I almost went rogue on my words there, but he fools around and retires AJ. All of a sudden, now you're like, wait a minute.
You're like, wait, he just transcended into an Uber heel.
But now at that point, you say, hey, wait a minute. We love AJ. You just took him away from us. You know what you do right after that? Make him retire Rey Mysterio.
Hunter, you're welcome.
You take away AJ Styles, you take away Rey Mysterio in, like, let's say, I don't know, June and August.
Yep.
All of a sudden, you're the biggest heel on the planet.
Now,
we hate you now.
Now, did we just take away Gunther's storyline?
Hell with Gunther right now. You know what? The hell with Gunther. He's doing his thing all raw over here.
He done did his thing.
Now they done leaned into him too much. I mean, we're trying to book this. We're booking out. We're giving you a year's worth of booking, right?
Yep.
Gunther's all raw. We're doing SmackDown talk right now. So we just gave you gold in a small little package and didn't even ask for nothing. But before we go, we're going to say, in 2026, we do expect to get that call from WWE. It is time for us to get called up. It's time for us to get influential in this business. So, I mean, if we have to make the podcast get bigger, if we have to start TikToking, if we have to start doing whatever we need to grow our business, we're going to do it, but we're going to get that call up sooner before later so we can actually start putting this stuff to play, because it's not doing anybody any good to only hear it. They need to see it on TV.
And as they say to that, I'll drink to that.
All right.
All right, everybody. Thank you for listening to today's episode. We appreciate everything you guys do. Reach out on our social media platforms. Drop us a line. Let us know your thoughts on today's topic. Again, Happy New Year. Look forward to the best in 2026. And with that, we bid you adieu.
Happy New Year. Let's get the drinks.
Today's podcast was produced by SBP. You can find our podcast on all major podcast platforms. Also, connect with us on our social media accounts. Search for The Bookers Alliance on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and X.